If you are a man and you are experiencing new or unusual urinary symptoms, then stick around because in today's video I'm going to be discussing 10 different causes that it might be, other than a UTI. Now for the women, you might still learn some valuable information which you can apply toward your husband, as we all know how men aren't the best about going to the doctors, but also don't feel left out because I have just created 2 videos dedicated to women regarding urinary symptoms as well, and those will be linked in the description box below, so be sure to check those out. So now getting started on today's topic, as I mentioned before, I am a family medicine doctor and I'm currently working for a telemedicine company, which means I see patients online. And when it comes to urinary symptoms in general, women are much more frequently affected by this than men, and I go over multiple reasons why in my video on recurrent UTIs for women. Men can also be affected by urinary tract infections, but it is more rare, and there are also multiple other causes of urinary symptoms other than a urinary tract infection, which I'm going to go over today. For this reason, in my specific telemedicine company, we are actually not allowed to diagnose urinary tract infection in men over the video call alone. We do have to refer them to see a doctor in person to rule out these other causes and to get a urinary test to ideally confirm the infection prior to starting treatment. So with all of that being said, now let's get into those 10 causes of urinary symptoms in men. And the first one is something known as benign prostatic hyperplasia, or BPH. BPH is a non-cancerous enlargement of the prostate gland that occurs with age. As the prostate enlarges, it can compress the urethra, which leads to urinary symptoms including frequency and urgency. The second cause is prostatitis. Prostatitis is basically inflammation of the prostate gland, and it can be caused by infection or other factors. It also leads to similar urinary symptoms including frequency, urgency, and can also cause some pain or discomfort with urination. The third cause can include overactive bladder. Overactive bladder can affect women or men alike. It's a condition characterized by a sudden or strong urge to urinate, which leads to frequency of urination, and it can affect men due to factors like nerve damage or bladder muscle issues or other unknown causes. Some of these factors may occur due to the normal aging process, certain medications, or other medical conditions. The fourth cause is bladder problems, and these can include things like bladder stones, bladder cancer, or something known as interstitial cystitis. The second video listed in the description box below discusses all about interstitial cystitis versus urinary tract infections for women, but just be aware it can also affect men, which also leads to urinary symptoms including urinary frequency and urgency. The fifth cause is neurological conditions. Certain neurological conditions, such as multiple sclerosis or MS, can disrupt the signals between the brain and the bladder, leading to bladder dysfunction and urinary symptoms. Again, more women are more commonly affected by conditions such as MS, but men can be affected by them too. The sixth cause of urinary symptoms in men other than a UTI can include medications. Diuretics are a common medication that can sometimes be prescribed for high blood pressure, and these medications work to reduce blood pressure by increasing urinary production, and thus you can have the feeling of having to urinate more frequently. The seventh cause of urinary symptoms in men can include lifestyle factors. This can include excessive caffeine or alcohol consumption. Caffeine is also a known diuretic which increases urinary frequency, and of course if you are drinking more fluids before bedtime you may notice a higher frequency of urination throughout the night. The eighth cause of urinary symptoms in men can include psychological factors. Sometimes when we notice a small change in our health or in our bodies, we tend to think about it more often and become more anxious about it, so stress and anxiety can definitely play a role in urinary symptoms if you are already experiencing them. The ninth cause of urinary symptoms is a little bit more serious, and it includes bladder or urethral obstruction. Over time, men may develop conditions such as urethral strictures or bladder outlet obstruction. Other causes that may be obstructing the bladder include cancers or tumors of the bladder, and this can hinder the normal flow of urine from out of the bladder, causing increased frequency or urgency, or you may be experiencing difficulty with urination or even notice blood in the urine, which can be concern for cancer. So if you are having those symptoms, you definitely want to schedule an appointment with your doctor right away to rule out those causes. And finally, the 10th cause of UTI symptoms in men that is not due to infection is diabetes. It's best to control diabetes as much as possible to avoid a wide variety of complications in your health, but if you have diabetes, you can experience excessive thirst and excessive urination. In fact, it is not uncommon for some men to experience these symptoms and think they have a UTI. They go to their doctor for a urine test which shows negative for a UTI, so their doctor follows up with a blood test, and on the blood test it is confirmed that they have diabetes. So I hope that gives you some idea of the complexities and the multiple causes of urinary symptoms in men other than a UTI, and the reason why it's important to follow up with your doctor for a urinary test to confirm infection or other causes. If you made it this far in the video and you learned something from today, write out the number 10 in the comment section below, 10. Or if you have any other questions or experiences you would like to share, feel free to also jot those down in the comments section. I would be happy to read those and respond. Please like and share this video with someone else who may benefit from this information, and don't forget to subscribe as I am making more videos like these in the future. And until next time, bye!